Lawton Court, and 75% of these homes are scheduled to be demolished by next year. We're here to stop that.
Hi, I'm Jody with Beargrass Thunder. I'm here at historic Lawton Court, and we are trying to do our best to bring Metro Council and public officials to the table, especially the mayor's office, to make sure that this amazing historic neighborhood is not demolished for parking. This is something that is common unfortunately in many neighborhoods, and we are trying our best to make sure this process will never happen again in the city of Louisville.
I owned the house and I was able to get in pretty quickly. So far it had been great. I actually work in housing rights over at the Coalition for the Homeless, and so I had looked up, who owned my house, who owned the houses nearby. I was just curious, and literally not a week later, I get a message from a friend on Facebook sending me a post about my neighborhood being scheduled to be demolished. So I'm just here to kind of prevent that. I moved in about a week and a half ago. It took me a while to find this place. I'd been searching for a place to rent for about 8 months or so. And when I finally found this place, I was absolutely in love with it. I came and I toured it several times just to make sure it was the one for me. And I just really liked how homey the environment was. So when I was finally able to get in, I had started a new job and I was looking up who owned my house, who owned the houses nearby, that sort of thing. And I found out that CEPEDA, the company next door, they had owned a lot of the houses, so I was curious to see what they would do with them. And I shit you not, like a week later, a friend of mine sent me an Instagram message about my neighborhood being set to be demolished. I hadn't heard anything about it. The company never reached out. The property management company never reached out. I find out through an Instagram post.
So the property maintenance company, while you were signing the lease, while you were moving in, they never told you that this house was slated for demolition?
No, they never said anything. I happened to find out because of a Facebook post or an Instagram post.
This is one of 8 left in the entire city that's designed for pedestrians instead of cars. It's honestly something that we've been trying to preserve all the ones in Old Louisville, and it just seems like a lot of these other neighborhoods are just left by the wayside.
Well, of course. I mean, look at Old Louisville versus this neighborhood. People don't care about places like this. They don't care about the people who live in areas like this.
So where is CEPEDA, from here in proximity?
I mean, it's about maybe a minute away. Literally right next door. I can see their parking lot from here, actually.
Okay. Well, do you mind if we take a tour through the space?
Of course. Oh, I can't get my camera.
So we can see that this used to be a house. It looks like there's already a step coming up.
Yeah, apparently the person who owned the house, they were trying to save as many as they could and revamp as many as they could, but now I get the feel that CEPEDA probably bought them out before they could accomplish that.
It's just strange to me that they would invest so much money into refurbishing a house for demolition.
Yeah. They actually doubled, I want to say tripled actually, the value of the house, so I'm confused as to why they want to tear it down. Now most of these houses are abandoned now, but there are still quite a few of us who live here.
From what I understand, there are 4 residents that still haven't sold.
Yep. This house here, that one. I think this one, but I'm not entirely sure.
I was told by some, really old residents of Shelby Park that this area was known for all the gardens it used to have.
Yeah. It's sad to not be able to see those anymore. I don't think we have any here anymore. But it's funny, I wanted to plant a garden in my backyard.
Yeah.
And here's CEPEDA's their parking lot right now.
So this is the alley for the whole neighborhood. It kind of rings the whole area. Got chain link fence on that side. I assume that's probably the same.
Yep. It kind of circles around here. It's a very small community.
And you even got some old growth oak trees too, like shade. It feels so different from most neighborhoods around here. And so if this is CEPEDA, whatever, the owners that are trying to demolish this whole neighborhood, it seems like they already have a parking lot.
They do. They have plenty of parking, and I know it's 5 o'clock or 4:30, 4:45 on a Tuesday, This is what the parking lot looks like all the time. It is never, ever at capacity.
Oh my God. And they want to keep building more.
And they want to keep building more. They actually own this plot of grass out here as well.
Wait. So you're telling me that CEPEDA already owns...
They already own all this grass, all this land, that if they wanted to extend, they easily could, yet they're choosing to demolish an entire neighborhood for parking.
Okay, yeah, you can see through the fence. Look at all this parking space. Look at all this green space that's already unused.
Already fenced off.
My God. And so when we talk about some of this, basically what we're doing right now is we're starting a negotiation with Metro and CEPEDA. We're trying to make sure that they are coming to the table, making sure that we know what's going on there, and potentially stopping all this from happening. So has Metro Council already reached out to you?
They have not, actually. I've reached out to them today and yesterday, actually. I found out about this happening literally 12 hours ago. But yeah, I've had, CEPEDA, I've had the actual vice president and president of the company reach out to me, and they'd like to meet with me, but I don't think that's something I'm interested in, as I'm sure they'll just try to offer me money like they've done to everyone else in the neighborhood. But yeah, I'm not willing to let them win.
Look at these gorgeous trees.
This community is old. It's been here for quite some time.
And look, you can see this was somebody's garden.
Yeah.
This is all mint.
Wow, that's mint.
Yeah, this is all mint.
Wow.
Can't believe it.
And it was funny, the organization that I work for, we do something called door knocking, where we go to different people facing eviction. And my coworkers had actually come to the neighborhood and they spoke with residents who said that they simply couldn't afford to live here anymore, and they were being offered money by this company to move.
One of the things that we've been working on with Shelby Park is this pedestrian bridge that seems to let out literally at your neighborhood. And like, if you take a crosswalk, if there was any investment coming to this side, y'all could walk over to Shelby Park in that garden space. I can literally see that all just down the way there. Based on our walk, when you moved in, you were never contacted or told that the house that you were moving into was going to be demolished or torn down.
Not once by anyone. Even now with all this going on, I still have yet to be reached out to saying this is what's going on.
And so when you moved in, there were already people that had already packed up and left, sold their home.
Yeah, plenty of people had already left.
When we bring Metro Council to the table, what do you want to see in the public meeting between Metro Council, Lawton Court residents, and CEPEDA?
I want to see a resolution. I want to see companies like this being prohibited from coming into our neighborhoods and tearing them down for, corporate good.
And one of the things that I really am talking about all the time is density, neighborhoods, transit, trying to make more neighborhoods car optional for the safety of residents, for, it's expensive to have a car nowadays. But literally, it seems like this neighborhood was designed for people.
It was. And that's something that attracted me to the area. I didn't want to be surrounded by cars. I wanted to live in a walkable neighborhood. I wanted to live somewhere where I could actually go outside and be safe. Yeah, exactly. And it just seems very interesting to me that Preston Corridor project is earmarked for 2023, 2024. There's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars of investment on this specific road, and yet they are trying to fast track this demolition within the next 2 months before any of the zoning changes happen, before any of the investment happens. And do you think that if Lawton Court was allowed to stay, that y'all would benefit from this investment in this area? Yeah, 100%. I personally feel like this is being done because talking to those folks. They want people to look at them. They don't want low income.
If you could do something right now, if you could tell Mayor Fisher something right now, what would you say?
I would say we need to make sure that the changes being sent don't negatively impact residents. They don't negatively impact poor communities. They don't negatively impact people of color. I think that residents should be put first, not progressives.
For taking us on a tour of your neighborhood. I cannot believe how much of a gem Lawton Court is for the Meriwether neighborhood, and it's an example of what we could design our entire city to be like, honestly. Talk about preserving our neighborhood, especially with your existing work, with preserving housing and making sure that people realize that we are in a housing crisis right now. But what do you think that we can do with our neighborhood associations as shotgun residents to build a better community?
I think we need to mobilize. I think that people need to come together and kind of create a list and demands of what it is that we want out of our neighborhoods and what we demand out of the officials that represent us. That's
We're going to be having a letter writing campaign as well as a official neighborhood association letter that other neighborhoods can sign on to. The number one priority is to preserve Lawton Court and bring CEPEDA and bring Metro Council and most of all, bring the mayor's office to the table here. We cannot have the mayor's legacy be asphalt, vacant lots, and homelessness and evicted residents. So if you're watching this, stay tuned for more updates. We are going to have a public meeting and we are going to bring public officials to the table and have them answer why they're letting this happen.
awesome. Thank you for coming by and caring.
Thank you so much.